This week on The Real Housewives of Potomac reunion.
About me that I saw play out through the season.
Okay.
So I feel like having seen that coupled with this, it all adds up.
Okay.
That's not my friend. Oh, wow.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about The Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, Season 9, Part 1. Let's get right into it. Okay, you guys, when Andy Cohen said on that radio show that this is going to be one of the best Potomac reunions, he wasn't lying because part 1 was good. It was good. So let's begin. The episode begins on December 20th, 2024, the day that a jury of her peers found Karen Huger guilty of DUI among other charges. So Karen actually made a video reaction of that day in which she says she takes full accountability for what happened. She's crying a lot and says that her family is beyond hurt. The editors are crazy too. They're shady. They show the infamous body cam footage that we have all seen by now. And this producer is asking these questions in the video, and he asks if she has a problem with alcohol. But she says no. She says that she has a message to all of her young fans. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so then we move along to January 2025. So last month, when the reunion was actually taped, the ladies are getting ready. They're wondering if Karen is going to show up. Up until this point, they didn't know. Wendy and Kay call her, but she doesn't pick up. Wendy feels some type of way. She says people have soldiered for her, but now she can't even answer the phone. It's like a slap in the face. Gizelle is the first one out, and she's actually wearing a dress that Candy has worn before. Let me know who you guys thought was the best dressed. I personally thought that for once, every single one of them slayed. I loved the white, and I thought they were just looked fabulous, every single one. And it begins by addressing the elephant in the room. Karen, the Grand Dame, is not there. None of the ladies have spoken to her since Christmas. Karen was found guilty on 7 of 8 charges, and Andy says Karen is not there because she has checked herself into a private self-care facility. Gizelle thinks that was great. She thinks that she probably should have done it a little bit before the trial, but she's very happy about that. Wendy thinks that it's interesting that she's doing it after the verdict and before the sentencing. Is she trying to get help, or does she want her sentencing to be a little lighter because of this? And Mia believes that second theory, and Wendy does as well. Stacey's sort of trying to defend Karen, and then Ashley brought a picture of Karen, and it was on point because Karen was wearing a white dress, so she was going with the theme. Then they play a video that Karen sent to the ladies, especially for the reunion. It was a good quality video. And she wants to thank some of the women. She says that she mainly wants to thank Gizelle because Gizelle sent her flowers and a beautiful message. She wants to thank Kriana. She thanks Jassy. She also thanks Candiace, Dillard, Bassett. Even though she's not on the show, she still wants to thank her. And then lastly, she says that the very important person she wants to thank is Andy Cohen because he's been great, and she will be back not as the Grand Dame, but as Karen. And that was the end of the video. So she left out Ashley, Stacey, Mia, but most importantly, Wendy. Wow. So Gizelle was very teary-eyed on this video. She got emotional. Andy says, well, Wendy, it looks like you were a bit unmoved by that video. And Wendy says, well, I've reached out to her. I've supported her throughout the season. I still feel some type of way about what she told Stacey. So with what she told Stacey about me plus this video, I can now say that was not my friend. Ooh. Gizelle right away says, but you've been knowing this, Wendy. And Mia says, but Wendy, like, she has been ride or die for Karen. And that's so true. They show how much she defended her just this season alone. And not to mention her inviting her to the White House. Gizelle is still saying, Wendy, I told you since Monique's last season that Karen didn't like you. And Wendy says, I know, I just didn't trust you back then. But she really did appreciate that last year Karen stuck up for her when her mom was in all that drama. But, now she sees how Karen truly feels about her. Andy also clarifies that he did not give Karen the name the Grand Dame, and Gizelle did, because remember, Karen drunkenly told the officer that Andy Cohen gave her that name. Andy then reads some of the comments that the audience had after that body cam footage was released, and a lot of people were upset. Some even wished jail time for her. Now, of course, when you hear it, it sounds kind of like, ouch, like, that's a lot. But you got to remember that a lot of these people have lost family members and friends and loved ones to drunk drivers. So honestly, I understand what their sentiment. Okay, they move on from the Karen of it all for now, and they take a look at Wendy and Gizelle's repaired friendship and a little bit of Wendy's storyline this season. Andy says that he definitely noticed Wendy being more happy, more relaxed this season. Wendy says that, yeah, for one, she didn't have her job, so that's her other job, so that took a lot of stress off. And at the end of the day, it was good for her and Gizelle to make up. I'm actually really surprised because I remember these last 3 seasons of Gizelle and Wendy, and it was just the energy between them was so dark. Like, it was almost hatred. So to see them come this far, good for them. Then they joke about Happy Eddie and if anyone has bought some supply. And then Gizelle randomly says to Stacey, aren't you trying to start your own? And Stacey says, no, what are you talking about? And Gizelle says, well, if she comes out with a Happy Stacey, y'all, don't be surprised next season. And then she says, didn't you meet with someone and you told them you were a celebrity? Huh? That was weird. Andy mentions a comment that Wendy made in the season. I guess I must have missed it, but Wendy had told her children that they would get their full inheritance only if they had a master's. So she clarifies that there's going to be different levels to their inheritance. They have to have a master's for like level 1 or whatever it is. They have to speak Igbo. Her daughter has to be in her sorority. And you know what? I actually love that. And I think I'm probably going to do that too. Because I think that is a good incentive for sure. They talk about the White House visit. It was great. Obviously, it's a little bittersweet knowing that the White House is super different now. Ain't nobody want to go there now. Wendy says that, to be honest, she actually regrets inviting Karen to the White House. If she's going to be honest, she does. Then they touch on Stacey exposing what Karen had told her about Wendy before she joined the show. Wendy says that she knew Stacey was telling the truth. Kriana then says to Stacey that she didn't think it was kind of her to hold on to this information and not bring it out until she and Karen were fighting. Stacey says that it's really much more than that. She says, I was loyal to Karen all season, but when she didn't have my back, I just had to say the truth. Wendy says that it's very interesting because when Stacey joined the show, Karen actually told Wendy, be careful because the new woman joining is very smart and educated. And then Gizelle jumps in and says, is she? Is Stacey smart and educated? I was like, damn, Gizelle, what is it with the shade towards Stacey? But one of the things that they all know is that it is sort of Karen's typical behavior to kind of groom the newcomers on the show and kind of sway them her way. Kriana is defending Karen because she really holds on to the fact that Karen was with her when she had to go to the hospital because she got in that fight. Andy asks, what do they actually think of the criticism against Wendy, though? When Karen saying that she was self-absorbed and all this stuff. And they all said they agreed that Wendy is self-absorbed. Oh, but Wendy says that she's just confident. They take a break and then they come back and Jassy is joining them. She looked phenomenal as well. She is going to get married this summer. She brought a nice invite to Andy, and all of the women will be invited as well. Her fiance is now playing for the Cowboys. Cowboys Nation all day. Okay, then they address her relationship timeline because it sort of made her look like a side chick. She swears that she's not a side chick because he wasn't together with the girl when he met her. I don't know. I don't get it. It's too complicated for me. But she says she's not a side chick. Then they take a look at Gizelle's storyline package this season, and they included like the GNA and her boo, and they also added Ashley's little scenes in there too. Ashley says that she's getting divorced, and I actually think that this past week it was like published that she's officially divorced. She's gonna get child support, not alimony. It's the opposite for Stacey. And then Andy asks Mia, "What about you?" And Mia says, "We're on the final steps of our divorce," and everyone just jumps on her. They're like, "Mia, are you even getting a divorce?" Then there's a question about GNA, because if you go to the website, it only has pictures. Apparently, Ashley and Gizelle, they were having a little bit of a challenge trying to say what it was, but they're saying it's they're the liaisons because they're gonna be the outreach from the community to charities. I don't get it either. Mia is shady though. She says, "So what's next? What's phase 3?" And Gizelle says, "Well, let's see if you're even invited to know." But in a nutshell, there is no company, there is no business, there's no money from that venue coming in. Then we take a look. They take us all the way to the beginning of the season when the girls agreed on going to Gizelle's event in advance, but then went to Karen's first, even though Karen had just invited them that same day. And you know how all that happened. The girls obviously didn't like that they were kicked out, but at the end of the day, Gizelle was mad at Karen for that. Jazzy's final words are that she really enjoyed her time on the show. But before she leaves, Ashley says that she would like Jassy to tell them what happened in Miami. So here's what happened, you guys. Apparently, Mia invited Stacey and Jassy to Miami for her birthday party. But Mia never showed up. Mia says that she didn't know the ladies were coming to town, and Stacey is mad, and she says, "You are a liar. You're such a liar. I told you." And Mia then starts saying that, "Well, you needed to tell my POC, my point of contact." So Stacey and Jazzy, what had happened was is that they actually arrived to the restaurant where the party was at, and Mia didn't show up until 2 hours later. So by that point, they had already left. Stacey then gets her phone and goes through her text messages and shows them to Andy, where it shows that Stacey did in fact, she let Mia know that she was there. And Mia actually responded saying, "Yay, amazing." So Mia knew they were there. But Mia didn't ask Stacey where she was until that day at 12 a.m. So to make it make sense, Stacey was there Sunday afternoon, but Mia didn't ask where was she until 12 a.m., which at that point it would have been the start of Monday. Anyway, long story short, Stacey and Jassy were being good friends. They flew to Miami to support Mia, and Mia didn't even reach out to Stacey. That's whack. I felt very bad for Stacey. Mia does apologize, but I think it sucks. Wendy says, "Well, wait a minute, you didn't invite the rest of us." So then Mia starts with the tears, and Wendy right away clocks her and says, "Stop with the tears. You clearly do this when you are being cornered." And Mia starts talking about, "I'm so sorry, I have a lot going on, I'm taking full accountability, I'm going through a lot." But you guys, I guess Mia has played this card so much that nobody really is falling for it. So then they let go of Jazzy and they take a 5-minute break. Mia goes to Stacey's dressing room. Jazzy happened to be there too. And Mia says, "I haven't been a good friend. I don't have the capacity of being a good friend right now, but I want to apologize." And Stacey says, "You didn't say anything to us. And this just doesn't feel genuine." Mia says, "Okay, well, thanks for listening." And I think that must have really upset her because now Mia wants to leave. So she leaves crying. Whew. And that was the end of the episode. I'm telling you guys, part 1 was good. Really, really good. I can't wait for next week. This was a lot, but I want you guys to tell me, what did you make of this first part? Most importantly, Wendy and Karen. Are you surprised that Karen didn't think? Wendy, what do you think about the whole drama? Please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.